Hi guys, I'm Shazad and welcome on our YouTube channel. Today's we're gonna discuss that what is the folder structure. So before learning the Laravel, you have to familiar with the folder structures. Like how can you create your applications? What is the routes? What are the kernels? What are the console? And where you can define your API routes? How can you create your controllers? Where you can save your models? Where you can save your views? What are the templatings? And a lot of things we're gonna cover in this video. So for those person who just join us on our YouTube channel, I request them please click on the subscribe button and pressing the bell icon so you never miss any update. So let's get started. Okay guys, so now as you can see, this is the folder structure we have downloaded, and these are the folders comes with the package, and these are the files. And this is very important file, env file, which is the known as environment file. We're gonna discuss. Just click on the VS Code and open this package or the Laravel setup with this VS Code, or simply file, open folder, go to the Laragon and find your this folder. It's same thing. Now we're gonna discuss each and every folders. So we have app, bootstrap, config, database, public, resources, routes, and storage, test, vendor, and these are some file. Just consider this file. So this is the environment file where we set our environment. So as you can see, this is the application's name. You can write your xyz, your project name. Let's suppose we are saying this is a Laravel, this is a Laravel series. Fine. And since we are working locally, so that's why the environment is local, and this is the key. The system generated this key. Debug is on, so you guys can easily understand while working on the project. And you have to set up the database connections. And here, as you can see, these are some settings: memcache host, radius, mailer, where you send the emails. If you are using the S3 bucket or the AWS, so this is the setting. If you are working on the pusher, so this is the environment settings. And these are the other settings like white pusher. We're gonna discuss about the white. So now as you can see, this is the white. So let's suppose you write xyz.com. So this request received by this file. So index.php is the file which receive your current request or every request. Once index.php file receive the request, then it send the request to the kernel. As you can see, this is the kernel, and according to the settings of your kernel, your system decide what to do. You also have the kernel available in console. As you can see, you have a kernel. Now once your kernel decide what to do, then you have the route sections. You receive the request to the routes, and your routes define what to do. Either the routes load, send the request to the view. As you can see, it's loading the view, or the route send the request to the controller, and now the controller send the request to the model, or depending on the situations or depending on the scripting, your controller decide what to do. So this is the overall process. So now comes to the applications folder. We always work on the application folder. In the application folder, you have the console folder. While working on the jobs, we're going to discuss about the console, but for now this is the console sections where you can define the schedule jobs every hour, every 10 minutes. So let's suppose if you have the schedule to send the email uh, after 10 minutes or every 10 minutes, you define the schedules here, and you receive or you set the times for every schedule here in the kernel. So now you have the exceptions. Definitely you can use the exceptions to work on your project. So in the HTTP, you have the controller, you have the middleware, you have the kernel. In the controller, we define all our controller here. As you can see, this is the controller. So let's suppose whenever you create controller, you always keep the controller here in the controller. And here, as you can see, this is the middleware. So before accessing the controller, you can pass or you can filter something by using the middleware. Let's suppose if you want to check the authentications before accessing XYZ controller or the method, then you can define here. Like as you can see, this is the validate and this is the verify CSRF tokens. We're gonna discuss about these things. So these are the middlewares, and you can handle the middlewares by using the kernel. So as you can see, this is the middleware group. We're gonna discuss about the middleware groups. Don't worry about it. And as you can see, this is the middleware areas. We're gonna discuss about it. So this is the app folder. Now, if you go to the model, you always define your business logics in your model. Like you can perform the queries here. So you always keep your models files in the model sections. And here, as you can see, this is the providers. You can use the services. As you can see, you can define as many as services here, and you can all keep all the services in the provider sections. And this is the bootstrap. We're gonna discuss about the bootstrap here. This is the config file. So if you close the HTTP, so you have the app folder, you have the bootstrap, and in the config file, you have the config.php. So you can write the configuration of your applications here, like env, it's a productions or not, debug, and all the settings, the configurations, the application settings available here. You can set all the settings here, and some other settings also available in the config, like auth, like cache, like database. So this is the connection SQLite. This is the MySQL connection. PDO. This is the PGSQL connections, and this is the SQL Server connections. You can set the settings of your databases here. If you talk about the files, you also have the settings of the files. Either you are using the disk. Let's suppose if you maybe you use the S3 bucket. So this is the disk, and this is the S3 bucket settings, and also some other settings available here related to the files. You have the hashings, loggings, mails. So let's suppose if you are using the by default SMTP settings. So this is the mailer, this is the SES, which is a simple email services provided by the AWS. And you can also use the queues settings here available in the settings or the configuration folder. If we talk about the database, so these are the database. We're going to discuss about the migrations. What are the migrations? How can you create your migrations? So you always keep the migrations in the migrations sections. So as you can see in the database, you have the migrations, you have the seedings. So let's suppose if you are in the development environment, then you always use the seeding to store the dummy data or the data. So, so this is the database seeding migrations, and now this is the factory. So if you have already discussed or if you have familiar with the patterns or the design patterns, so this is the factory, user factory. As you can see, define the models, default state, name, etc. We will discuss about the factory in our later lecture, but for now, this is the file. This is the database sections. In the public sections, you keep all your assets which is publicly available, like your images or like anything which is you want to use or you want to load publicly. And in the resource sections, you have a CSS and also the JS and also the view sections. We're gonna create the layouts and we're gonna keep all the layouts in the views section first of all. And here, when we discuss about the asset bundling, so we're gonna discuss about the CSS and also the JS. But if you click on the CSS, you always uh, keep all the CSS or attach the CSS file here, and you always all the JS files or attach all the JS files in the app.js sections. So once you added the CSS and also the JS in the app.css and also app.js file, then you're gonna start the void and the system automatically render all your CSS and also the JS file. So this is the resource section. So in the routes, as you can see, you have the web. where you can define your routes first of all. And in the API, you always define your API routes in the API folder. We're gonna discuss about the API, don't worry about it. Since we are working for now with the web, so that's why we always use the web.php as a route. So in the route, as you can see, you have the storage and you have the app framework and also the logs. In the logs, you have the Laravel file, and where Laravel always keep the logs here in this file. So now as you can see, this is the time, and it's saying columns options does not available. So whenever you face any kind of issue, just go to the storage and find the Laravel log file in the log folder. Here, as you can see, this is the framework, and you have the cache and also the sessions and also the testing and also the view section. So we're gonna discuss about these one in the app folder. You have the public. So let's suppose if you are uploading the images, the videos, so you always keep all your stuff here. So this storage is not available publicly. So that's why we always store our data here, so nobody can access this one. So this is the test where you can define your test or perform the unit testing. Don't worry about it, we're going to discuss about the test in our later lectures, but for now, so this is the vendor section. So let's suppose if you are downloading the packages by using the composer, you always or the system always keep all the packages in the vendor. So now as you can see, this is the file, and also this is the packages Laravel, and also all the packages available here in the vendor directory. And here this is the environment or the .env file where we can define our environment or the application environment settings, and this is the composer.json file. So let's suppose whenever you add any package, the system automatically add that particular package here. As you can see, require 8.1, and this is the version, framework version, and also this is the tinker versions. So whenever you use the composer update command, the system automatically find all the settings from here. You also have the composer.json file, which is the history. We're going to discuss about this one. You have the packages.json file where you can use the dev and also the build. You also have the white, which is known as asset bundling. We're gonna discuss about the asset bundling or the white in our later lecture. But for now, this is the app.css and this is the app.js file. Okay guys, so this is the overall folder structure of the Laravel 10. So I hope guys you are enjoying our videos. If you think we are doing good, thumbs up, support us and support our channel by clicking the subscribe button and pressing the bell icon so you never miss any update. So thank you for watching.